Hello and welcome to That Squirrel Speaks. Today is Wednesday. It's in October. Is it the last Wednesday? No, I think it's the second to last Wednesday. Okay. Hi, how are you? So sorry if there's like a low grade construction sound happening outside. It's not my house. Yay! But apparently the road is being constructed. I don't know what's happening, yo. It's craziness out there. So hopefully it doesn't pick up too much, but if it does, it's not my house. Don't worry. Okay, so let's just get into it, yo. If you don't know what's happening yet, well, welcome. This is the Fat Squirrel Speaks. I'm your hostess, Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel on Ravelry, and the Fat SQRRL on Instagram. Okay, maybe I should really shut this window and come back. Okay, just a second. Okay, that was kind of crazy. I'm sorry. Okay, so today is Wednesday. I got back from Rhinebeck, which is New York Sheep and Wool, on late Monday night. So this episode will contain the following information. I'm actually going to go reverso changeo a little bit on ya. Are you prepared? I'm going to do one tiny bit of shameless self-promotion, but it's sort of like co-promotion, so it doesn't count, right? And then I'm going to knitting and spinning. Oh, I forgot my spinning over there. And then I will show you my insane Rhinebeck purchases. And then there will be an insane amount. Did I say insane twice? That's because it's insane. There will be an insane amount of shameless self-promotion at the end. Y'all, it's crazy. So if you don't want to stick around for all that, just know that there's a giant update October 27th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you were wondering, and you just can't hold on, it'll contain a whole bunch of bags, but it'll also contain the Elizabeth Zimmerman pins. Did you see them? So I'll show you those in the shameless self-promotion part, but just in case. That's what's coming up, yo. And then hopefully there will be an update like the first Friday of November, I'm hoping, with like winter holiday-ish bags. Right. Okay. So first off, co-shameless self-promotion. So it's not shameless self-promotion, it's shameless co-promotion. I don't know, I can't think yet. I'm still tired. So I did a collaboration with Leading Men Fiber Arts for a winter kit that they're doing, and I've got the kit to show you. It's not like a surprise kit, so you know what you're getting ahead of time. I won't show you. Should I show you everything? Do they tell me to show you everything? Oh my gosh. I totally read my note, but I didn't think to say, like, should I show everything? I think they're like putting it all out there. I think it's pretty safe to show everything. By the way, the note is totally written in glitter pen. Just saying. It totally goes with the wintry theme, yo. Anywho, I won't show you the note they sent, because yours will contain its own note. But oh my gosh, are you ready? It's all fancy wrapped. I haven't even unwrapped it yet. I opened the box to make sure that there was a note to tell me like when things were going to be available. It'll be available November 1st at Leading Men Fiber Arts at their shop. And there's only 120. And you know how popular Leading Men Fiber Arts are, so you better get in there. Get in there. The price is $125 with free U.S. shipping, and then $10 for Canada and international. So you can still get it if you're international or Canadian, but it's just a little bit extra for shipping. But wait till you see what's in it, yo. Are you ready? It's like a whole box. Look. I won't show you their address. It's a whole box. It's got glittery tissue paper because they're so fancy. See, this is why I can't do kits, y'all. I would be like, here's the bare bones. I'm the worst. But not Lehman Fiber Arts. They're going to wrap your gift for you. They're fancy. Oh my gosh, there's... Okay, sorry. Okay, I'll show you my part because, like, whatever. My part. You get a large wedge. Look at it, Joe. It's all winter magical land. So there's deer. There's a rabbit on there. Can you see the rabbit? What? Do you see him? Right. It's all snowy and mystical. Yeah. I'm telling you, they're fancy. And then, okay, what should I show you next? What should I show you next? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to show you next. Okay, I'll show you the yarn next. There's 3 skeins of yarn. What? And they so totally go. Right? Okay, I had to put them on the bag so you can see. Right. So this one is, it's cold outside. The next stealth colorway is Ice Ice Baby. Of course it is. And the final colorway is Winter Wonderland. Are you seeing it? And they're all the dramaturgs, which is like my, I think, okay, good. They're all the dramaturgs, which is like my favorite base ever. It's 100% superwash merino in a DK weight, and it's 115 grams. So it's 250 yards. You know what you could do with that, yo? Swancho. What? You need a Winter Wonderland Swancho, people. I'm pretty sure that the largest size, okay, even if the largest size says it does require 250 yards, it doesn't, because I did not get close to running out of any of my contrasting colors. And then you could just drop by the shop and get a coordinating 4th quarter for the main color. You could have a Winter Wonderland Swancho. I'm just saying, that's an option. Isn't it beautiful? And then, look how stinking cute this is. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Because I'm not sure you're ready. Okay, you get fancy pants stitch markers, which I can't get out of here. They're very securely packed. I literally can't get them out of here. Steve and Andy, you're too good at packing things. You're out of control. Oh, there we go. So your stitch markers are from the Selkie Studio. By the way, how much do you love that name? They come in this fancy little box with another present I'm going to show you in a second. Right. They're all magical and wintry wonderland. And you even get like a fancy brow marker. Check it out. How crazy is that? It's like 10 stitch markers. How many stitch markers? It's 10 stitch markers. You could like knit a Stephen West thing with that many stitch markers. Goodness gracious. Impressive. Sorry for the editing. And you even get a coupon code. What? For Selkie Studio. How cool is that? Then, are you ready for this nonsense? You're opening this box up and you're like, what are you in Fiber Arts? Why did you give me a bunch of random yarn? What's that about? Don't fret. Inside, commemorative ornament. So it's got their colorways in it. How cute is that? I think they said these are all their 2017 that they do their mini skeins with. Oh, cut up in there. And then you have so much extra, you could totally make like 3 for people you like. Not for anybody you don't like, don't give them that. That's too nice a gift. Right. How cute is that? It's just stuffed with Happy Lady and Fiber Arts yarn. What? Everybody's excited about the Whiskey Christmas ball, but I gotta say, yarn So isn't that cool? Giant bag for me, large wedge, 3 skeins of dramaturge, amazing commemorative ornament, and fancy pants stitch markers, yo. All wrapped with a special note and fancy glitter wrapping paper. So you can totally find it in their website. On their website, which is leadingmanfiberarts.com, I think, because they're fancy. Oh no, they're fancy like me. They're leadingmanfiberarts.bigcartel.com. But you can just search it. Just Google Leading Man Fiber Arts. It'll come right up. Let me show you the yarn because it's so squishy. How gorgeous is that? So yay for super awesome humans. I love their faces and their yarn. That's right. They're like awesome humans that I'm glad to give grocery money to in exchange for beautiful yarn. And they make pretty stuff. Yay! So that's totally coming out November 1st. Yay! So how exciting is that? And it's not a pre-order or anything. Like, it's just ready to happen. They're so fancy. So lucky to know so many fancy people. Okay, so let's talk about knitting and spinning, but I'm going to come right back because I forgot my spinning, because I actually have spinning to show you. I forgot to mention, I'm totally wearing a shawl, the name of which I no longer remember, but I do actually have a project page on it, yo. So you can find that on my project page, and it's got fancy, oh, look at that, right. It's the beautiful Another Crafty Girl yarn. It's luxurious. And I'm not even a luxurious gal. So it's nice. Okay, so here's my spinning. It was totally drying on the heating bit. My husband insisted on turning on the heating when I was gone to New York. Of course, it was like 78 degrees in Rhinebeck, and apparently cold enough here to have to turn on the heat. What are you gonna do? So I finished the spinning, yo. It is dry now. So this is 1 ply of Spun Right Round Falkland in her Pegasus colorway. And it's plied with 1 ply of 3 Waters Farm Organic Polworth in the Merry Poppies, like M-E-R-R-Y, Poppies colorway. I tell you what, every time I put 2 colorways together that are like close, but I'm like not exactly sure of it, just do it, people. Just put them together. They want to be together. They want to make out in a twisty, twisty, swirly dance all day long. 2 different fibers, doesn't matter. 2 different dyers, doesn't matter. I feel like they're at least remotely complementary. They just are happy together. They're like our people in our knitting community. Just happy to be together. They just got something in common. Then they're happy to be together. That's what I'm saying. I'm so crunchy. But this yarn isn't. Isn't it pretty? Because I was even like, but these both are so beautiful on their own. I don't want to deplete their beautifulness by putting them together. It didn't make them less beautiful. So now I got a fat, fat yarn, baby. 667 yards. So that's probably DK-ish, it looks like, because it's sport DK, whatever. It's all the same. Oh gosh, I can't do anything. Broken. Oh, so pretty. I really dig it. These are so not my colors. Totally love it anyway. Okay, now let's talk about spinning. Not spinning, that was spinning. Let's talk about knitting. I can show you something. I finished something. I'm totally having Wild Woman of the Mountain stares. Just shush, I know. It can't be tamed today. I finished something that's been on the needles for, what, 16 months or something crazy? I never do that. But I started this cowl for the 2016 SSK. Because, you know, you need something that's like very mindless to knit on while you're chatting with everybody. But then I never actually knit on anything. I'm chatting with everybody. I just hold it in my hands like an animal. But this colorway is so gorgeous. I couldn't help but cast it on. This is from, let me see if I have the tag. Oh, I don't have the tag. It's Nitty and Color in her Whiskey and Wine colorway. So now see, I'm not a huge purple person, but I love a warm purple with some brown in it. Right. And it's got just a tiniest little bit. It's really brown, but it's like a green brown for the barrels. The whiskey, the barrels. And it's just enough to kind of make it almost like that kind of greeny weird color that looks so good with purple. So this is the sockhead cowl. I apologize, I don't know who wrote the pattern, but it's the same person who did the sockhead hat. And it's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's basically just a tube with a bunch of 2x2 ribbing at either end. Right? Couldn't be easier. Love it. So if you need it to be up over your face, because you're going to rob a bank, then you can totally do that. Also, if you're just cold. But then it's just also so nice. It just sits right there. It'd be perfect if you're wearing a jacket or another sweater. Sometimes I just really like a basic cowl. Like, it actually comes in quite handy. Froggy Monkey and DJ Knits a Lot totally gifted me a beautiful cowl at Rhinebeck like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And it's just like a basic, like, shortish cowl, not because I always end up knitting the infinity ones, but it's just, and I have used it so much. That's why it inspired me to just cast this one on, is because I just use it so often. It's perfect. So anyway, that's beautiful. And of course, Knitting Color, also a wonderful human to give your dollars to. Oh, one thing I did do different, at the bottom or at like one end, they're the same. I did split my hem because I was unsure if it would feel like it was like this. I didn't want to do it like that. So I did split my hem on the bottom. I don't know that it really made any difference at all, but it was no extra work. So instead of just working the ribbing in the round, I just did it. Did it flat. I did cast on, like I kind of like the 3 stitches that would be like the overlap. I kind of like picked them up from the back of the work. Do you know that technique? So that like basically you have 3 stitches that are stacked right on top of each other. And so that way it didn't kind of pull where it does join, it didn't pull it really tightly. Oh my gosh, I'm such a hot mess, y'all. I've definitely been doing this for like 5 years, definitely. Anyway, so there's that. Okay, now let's see, what else do I have to talk about? Okay, so I started a pair of socks, and they are knit with DK yarn. And let's see if I can get those out. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, so I got this commercial DK that is specifically for socks. Well, it's got a merino, it's got a nylon content, and it is Viking of Norway, the Aurora, and it is 6-ply, 150 grams, 375 meters. So it's got a lot of yarn in it, yo. And I purchased this at, actually I purchased this at Webb's. I was thinking I purchased it at Simply Slunk Yarn, but at Webb's. So these are, I don't have the heels put in them yet, but I do have 2 completed socks, in theory. So there they are. isn't that a fun? Those are nice. And they're very similar. There's several different colorways. Ask me how I know, because I have more than one ball. I have other colorways to work on too. I first knit these on a size 1.5, I think. And I normally knit my socks on 0s. And they were too tight. They did not feel like they would have enough stretch for a sock. Like, you want your sock knitting to be tight enough that it's like, that it's a firm knit will wear better than a loose knit. But you also don't want it, especially I think when you get into the thicker sock weights, if your gauge is too tight, it feels like it won't stretch right on the foot, and it does not feel like it would be pleasant to wear, I think, for some reason in my head. So I did back that out and then started with a US 2.75 millimeter. And I think that worked out quite nicely. For a regular size, like normally these people would get a 64 stitch sock. And so I did a 56 instead, and it seems to be reasonable. The other thing is I originally knit the sock for my grandmother first. And I know, I'm sorry, I'm messing with my hair a lot. I clearly should have done something with it before we started. Sorry. So between the tight knitting and really she's got a super skinny foot. Like usually I just do a 56 stitch for her. And I think I did a 44 after I did the maths. And it just, maybe it just looks like it's so tiny. And it looks really rigid. So I'm afraid it's not going to work. So 56 for a 64. That seems good. Because again, I think it needs to be just a tiny bit, it needs to have a little bit more ease than normal because of the thicker yarn. That might just be in my brain, but I feel it. I don't know. Okay, so there's that. Do you like my socks, gnomes? There'll be some in the update on Friday. I'm just saying. Okay, so then I totally cast on, is it these, for the Stephen West, I can't remember what it's called, Brio Garter hat. I was so psyched when this pattern came out, but I just hadn't like realized I had the perfect yarn for it. So this is the pattern by Stephen West. It's called the Brio Garter hat. Like brioche, of course. Like, could you not just squish his face in that photograph? He's so cute. Okay, and so I am knitting mine with Cascade Eco Wool and some homespun. And I apologize, I have no idea who this homespun, this fiber dyer was. I feel like it was spun right round, but I'm not sure. Because she's awesome, and it's awesome. And I feel like it was hers, but I'm not sure. So here it is thus far. Totally not my normal colorways. I dig it. Right. I'm having total fails today. What is wrong with me, y'all? Isn't it fun? It's like an accidental sleepy rain-time rainbow. What? I can't really explain to you how cute it is. Maybe I need to get closer so you can really see it. You try again. Oh, camera! Capture the majesty! Okay, well, maybe not. Oh no, it's really cute. So cute. And it's gonna be so cute on. I should just leave it like that for the rest of the show. Oh my gosh, actually this is totally the solution to my hair conundrum. Okay, I'll pull this because I just was magic looping. But I'll pull that through so I don't have like a red loop sticking out the front of my head. Because that would be probably more distracting than it would be worth. Okay, this is the rest of the show. I'll just put the yarn behind me and then we'll continue on. Fabulous! Okay, so then the last thing I have to show you is a swan show. Of course it is. Of course it is. Because I'm knitting a Brio Garter hat in a swan show. because knitting is fabulous. So I gave my swanter to my mom, the one that I showed you, the browns and the reds, the very autumnal one, and my mama felt like she needed one too. So I did some stash shopping because I didn't know there was magical leading in fiber arts coming. What was I thinking? Could have just swantered that right up. That's okay. Here's mine so far. Now she's a little lady, so it's smaller looking. And actually what I don't have much DK and stash. I don't know how that's happened over the years, but I really don't. I have like a skein or two of Yowza, and I feel like that's like all I have. So what I decided to do is do fingering weight held double. Now, fingering weight held double is typically a worsted, and this I would say is a light worsted, because what I tried to do is choose yarns that were not particularly plump fingerings, that they were light fingerings, not heavy fingerings. And I would say the word fingerings way too often. Giggle away. But I found that, for example, okay, so my main color is some Knit Pick Stroll in the Jackrabbit colorway. So that's my main colorway. And if you've ever used Knit Pick Stroll, I would say it's on the lighter end of fingering, or if nothing else, at least like right in the middle. So that's my main color. And then my contrasting color 3 is some Marigold Gin, and I think this is the Butterscotch colorway. No, wait, this is not. I used that all up. This must be, yeah, I did use that all up. This must be Madeline Tosh Twist in the Daffodil colorway. I think that's what this is. Again, it was in the scrap bin, so it's a mystery, but I think that's what it is. Okay, sorry. Continuing on. My contrast color 2, just dropping patterns everywhere. Oh, so the Madeline Tosh, the twist is a little bit thinner than the, for example, the regular one. So then my second contrasting color is one strand of Woodland Shetland, excuse me, Harrisfield Tweeds Shetland, so they're fingering weight, and the Wood Smoke colorway, held alongside some random Lion brand fingering weight sock yarn, which I don't know the color of. So that is this color. And if you're like, wait, that's your CC1, I kind of switched them around inside the pattern, so this is one of the colors. So that's what this turned out as. And then the last colorway is Quince & Company Finch in Glacier, which is a very light blue, held along with some Mystery. This is totally Ultra Alpaca Fine or Light or whatever it is. That's the like really light fingering weight, because the Finch is a plumper fingering weight. So originally I was just going to hold that double, but then it was like really fat, which was not a bad thing. But I decided it was a little bit too poofy in the pattern. So I held it with the Ultra Alpaca Light, and I actually really like how it turned out, because it gave it like a fun, because the pattern in the picture, do you even know what I'm talking about? Of course you don't, because I didn't tell you. This is the Ninnle Chick Swancho, and it is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter. Looks like that. As you can see, the pattern is speckly. The yarns are speckly in it. So when you don't have speckles in stash, doing the two different colored strands does give you some not a similar texture, but you know, a texture that has a little bit more depth to it. So there it is so far, yay. And again, the blue, you really can't tell. Those colorways are very close together, but it just gives it a little something else, which I thought was fun. So I'm excited about it. I really do like these colors together quite a lot. I was very excited when they just coalesced. Oh my goodness, right. Things are falling. Okay, so that's all the knitting and spinning. Okay, so then I'm going to talk just a little bit about Rhinebeck. I won't overwhelm you. And then I'll do shameless self-promotion. So if you're not into any of those things, I'll totally see you next time. Oh my gosh, Rhinebeck. It was super awesome, yo. It started on Friday with Needles Up. By the way, it actually started on Thursday because I met my family outside of Columbus, my mother and her husband outside of Columbus to travel up together. That's right, I took my parents to Rhinebeck. Crazy, right? They do not knit, by the way. My mom does tons of crafty stuff. She's a quilter. She does a lot of embroidery and handwork. She's really into like wool applique and things like that. So I knew she would find something that she would enjoy. And her husband is very patient and saint-like, so I figured they'd be okay. And they actually did want to go. I didn't just like force them into it. They wanted to go. So I met up with them on Thursday, and then we all drove to New York. And we stayed outside of Woodstock. We did an Airbnb. And we did not get there till like 11:30 at night. And let me just discuss, the road was insane to get there. Girls. Hey. Hush. Guys, it's okay. Okay, so the road to get there was insane. It was super hairpinny curves and like at a crazy steep grade, and we were in a big Ford truck because it was the only thing that would hold my grid wall. Well, my van will hold my grid wall, but Lord knows I could have not taken my van. I had to like engineer some sort of cog railway system to haul my van up to the house because it was like this crazy steep grade and the curves were so sharp that at one point, like that truck has a pretty long wheelbase. At one point, I don't think the back wheels were even all on the road because it was such a tight turn. It was crazy pants. But the place we stayed at was gorgeous. It was very affordable for what it was, and it was lovely, and it was in a beautiful place. Like when we actually came down the hill in the morning, we were like, ooh. But the night before, it kind of looked like I was taking them someplace to dump their bodies and collect their insurance, which I wasn't, but it felt like that for a second. But then on Friday, we went down into Rhinebeck and I did the Needles Up event, which was organized by Legacy Knits, Legacy Fiber Arts, and Andre Sue Knits. And then also Sucre was not there, but she had representatives there selling for her. Actually, I think they were all volunteers. Saints. And Fancy Squid, is that right? Classy Squid, I should have known that. Classy Squid Fiber Arts was also there. And so we got there and we were setting up. It's in this beautiful, like little, they call it a conference center, but really it's just a small building and these beautiful big double doors. And it was a nice, cool, but not, well, I mean, it got warmer later in the day, especially in the sun, but it was this beautiful location with these doors that were open up. So it didn't, even though it's not a very huge location, it felt open because of that. And then we had amazing people who stopped by to say hello. And then even more amazing people who actually volunteered to help us out. People are so amazingly generous. And Andy and Sue organized everything. All I did was show up, so I cannot take any credit for how awesome it was. Again, I need those kind of people in my life because I am not good at that stuff. I will show up and do what I'm supposed to do. Like, I will. Come hell or high water. I will show up and do what I'm supposed to do. But I am not good at like the nice, like peripheral stuff. And they are good at it. Like they even had line management strategies, even though they were like not really sure who would come or, you know, what would happen. They were so amazing. Because the venue is kind of small, we knew we couldn't have too many people in there or it'd feel crazy. So the super cute Chili Knits, who has a beautiful, beautiful color sense of like the super bright, wonderful colors and is super cute, bright, wonderful herself. Totally volunteered to be the bouncer. So she would like let people in as people left. So it never felt like you couldn't breathe or move around, which was also amazing because it meant people could like visit and say hello without feeling like they were being rushed. People could look at things and think without feeling like they just had to grab the first thing they saw. It was wonderfully done. So applause, applause to those ladies. They're amazing. And also, they're really nice humans. What? I know, right? Those two things could go together. Clever businesswomen and amazing nice humans. Happens all the time in our community. Anyway, so that was amazing. I get to meet so many people and say hello to so many people. And it really was like an awesome extension of Rhinebeck for me personally. Because like I get to meet a lot of people at the podcaster meetup, but this was just like a 4-hour extension of that, because a lot of the folks who shopped were folks who knew the podcast and were saying great, wonderful things. And some of them wanted to meet my parents. Some of them gave gifts. It was amazing. I could really go on forever. It was ridiculous. But even as we were setting up, it was so pleasant because again, like Yarn Hoarder and the the Knit Coots gals, Knit Coots, showed up, and like and then volunteers were there, and the grocery girl stopped by. So fancy. And Christy Glass stopped by, and so like that stuff was all kind of happening like before we actually opened. And so at one point I was talking to Sue and I was just like, you know what? Like, I mean, I don't want to say if nobody shows up, but even if nobody shows up, this has been really pleasant just to visit with y'all for a little bit because I had never met them before. Amber, met her before. She's wonderful. But it was like, I mean, I knew somebody would, I knew there would be like at least 7 people. But like, it was just nice. It was chill and relaxed and positive. And there were like cookies and water and candy. And it was just all supportive and lovely. I was just like, I'm in the right business, yo. I don't know how I fell into this, but I'm glad I did. I will trip on that rock any day. But, and then everybody showed up too. What? We're busy like the whole time. It was amazing. I know some of you had to wait in line. Well, some of you chose to wait in line, and I am so appreciative of it. I am not one to wait in line, and in fact, I very rarely eat at Rhinebeck anymore. I think I did my 2nd year I ate, but I don't even eat there anymore because I'm like, I can't waste that time. I have to see everything and visit. So this year I did wait in line for donuts, but that was only because I could also give them to some other people. You know what I mean? That seemed acceptable. But so for those of you who wait us, and I'm so appreciative that they had that system in place because I personally would much rather wait in line for 15 minutes and actually have a relaxed and positive experience than to feel like I was crowded into something, because some people are super great with that and yay to them, but I am not. I can't, I get all like, you know, like try to take up as little space as possible. You might create your own singularity and cause the collapse of the world. I mean, just that could happen. It might happen. So let's not have that happen. Just saying. And then Rhinebeck itself was, of course, amazing. Full of awesome things. I was a little bit distracted this year because I had other humans with me that were, you know, in my care. I couldn't just lose them or anything. So I was a little distracted this year, but it was so worth it because, again, I've gone before and I'm hopefully will go again. So it was nice to show them things and like let them experience all the sheep and the leaping llamas, which they thoroughly enjoyed. Although my mom was upset that the goats did not have a fair shake, she felt, because they're so little. Dude, one goat got like into the final 3 this year, y'all. It had like spring hooves. It was amazing. And it had a young woman as its handler. I don't know, she couldn't have been more than 9? I think at the most. She was young. And she was so cute. She was so excited when the goat cleared the hurdle. It was amazing. And then after they were disqualified during the last round, after she was disqualified, she totally like I just happened to look over and she was just holding the goat, like she was sitting behind it and just holding on to it, like just petting it. Oh my God, farm kids are the best. Some humans just need to be around animals so that we can be better humans. I'm one of those humans. So it was just crazy awesome, as usual. I had like a whole list of things I was supposed to talk about as I was thinking about them, being like, what? So maybe I should revisit that list so I don't forget anything that I was like, that's my grocery list, not my list of things to talk about. First thing up, butternut squash. Oh, that's right, it's soup season, y'all. Wee-hee. Okay, so that and that, I did that. Oh, Needles Up will also be having at Maryland Sheep and Wool this year, and I'll totally be there. I've never been to Maryland Sheep and Wool, so I'm super excited about that. Okay, Road of Doom, I said that. Oh my gosh, really though? Okay, I think that's good. Okay, good. So, just so good. So let's talk about what I bought, because I mean, come on, that's fine. So at Needles Up, I could not resist. I was trying not to buy very much spinning fiber this year, because I've not been spinning as much, but I could not resist this. Classy Squid. The tag has already fallen off because I'm a mess. By the way, her tag totally says Spin Classy. As somebody who comes from people who say classy, I totally enjoy that. Anyway, this is Shetland in I Leaf Fall. Like, I love it. I leaf it. Right. How cute is that? So perfect colors. Mm. So amazing. So that was from Classy Squid. I showed you my sock blanket that I got from Andre Sue Knits, and I got one for you and one for me. I need to put a shawl pin in, apparently. Oh, I could just use... I'm such a genius. I could just use the needles that are hanging off the back of my headband. Just saying. Anywho, that's not what I meant to pick up. So then I got from Legacy Fiber Arts some of their cozy toes, and look at that. But I've got to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what this colorway name is. I just looked at it right before. Oh, Jack's Lament, maybe? No. Jack's Lament. Maybe that's it. Like Jack-o'-lantern? Whatever, it's gorgeous. Totally enjoyable. Okay. And then again, I got those little Sucre miniatures, but I can't show you them because I'm not sure where I put them. They're in like a tiny brown bag. I'll find them. They'll be great. So then at the festival itself, oh my gosh, y'all, I fell down. Actually, I did really well on Saturday itself. I bought some goofy stuff, but... Oh, the other thing your prize will have in it, I'm such a scatterbrain. The other thing your prize will have in it was Leslie Wind, who does amazing metalworking, whom I have many of her shawl pins because she is an all-around awesome human. Also gave me this magical unicorn horn darning needle. So that's going to be in your prize too. Right, it's a good prize. There'll be a project badge from, like a tote from New Hampshire Knits, the Woolly Thistle. Sorry, I could not think. The Woolly Thistle. So it'll all come in and be exciting. Okay, but so the first thing I bought was ridiculous. Let me just discuss. You should definitely not vend at an event the day before an event, because when you just like you're like, oh, I had a really successful event. Thank you all. Then you might accidentally spend more money than you really should have. See, you just put it back in the community, right? It's okay. This is from Marshmallow Farm, a small sustainable family adventure, marshmallowfarm.com. M-A-R-S-H-M-A-L-L-O farm.com. It is a handcrafted sheep horn shawl pin. Well, of course I bought that. By the way, their look was awesome. Like, they had such good merchandising. It was amazing. I could have bought like 75 things. Right? It's a Jacob horn shawl pin. I agree. That was insane that I bought that, but I was in love with it. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I thought about it, but I didn't like say, usually I'm like, no, let's think about walk around, come back. Nope. Immediately purchased. And then I didn't even show these because they're totally not handmade. Well, I mean, I'm sure they are handmade like in a factory, but oh, how cute is he? Ah, this fat green bird ornament. And then this is completely also ridiculous. It's Pom Pom Ball sheep, yo. Really? This is from Red Maple Collection. They both are. redmaplecollection.com. And they totally are just a retailer but of manufactured goods, but I'm a sucker. And those were super cute. And I just bought that shawl pin. So you know, once the levee breaks, it's just all downhill. So then I managed to not buy anything else for the rest of the day, I think. And then, in like the last 10 minutes I was there, I bought a sweater's worth of yarn from Bartlett Yarn, of course. I do really love them. And I had planned on buying a sweater's worth of yarn. And then when I was at, I think it was when I was at Needles Up. Maybe it was during the podcast meetup. I can't remember. Someone was telling me about their Veronica cardigan. And have you've seen that, of course. It's super cute, but I was kind of concerned about staying on my shoulders. But she said that hers definitely does stay on her shoulders. So I thought, okay. So I bought this to do a Veronica cardigan with. And it's like one of those T-shaped cardigans, but without sleeves. And so I thought it'd be perfect for just around the housiness at night. And yeah, and I love Bartlett Yarn. So I bought that, and then I made the giant mistake of walking into the Fleece sale unattended. I really need a handler. Not really, I'm really excited about what I bought, but you know what I mean. And I kind of had it in my brain that I might buy fleece, even though I shouldn't. But, okay, so, oh my gosh, it's so crinkly, y'all. It's a Romney fleece and it's very clean. And look at how crimpy it is. What? I am such a sucker for crimp. Like, it might as well be a drug. Right. It's really super clean. It must have been coated. It does not have much lanolin in it, so it should be fairly easy to clean, to scour. And it's super winkle? It's super crinkle fry fantastic. I didn't put that on my actual eye. I know it's dirty, but it's my glasses. Safety goggles for Woolio. Oh my gosh. There's this much of it too. Oh my gosh. I'm out of control. But y'all, I mean, look at it. It is a whole bag of that. And it's like several different colors. So it lost points for consistency, but I dig that about it. And it is just all super crinkly like that. And it smells sheepy and wonderful. And the great thing about buying a fleece at at Rhinebeck is that they do give you, like they're judging the fleeces. So they give you a scorecard that contains uniformity, density, handle, crimp, length, and weight. This totally got a 5 for crimp, yo. It lost a point for uniformity, and it lost a point for density. But I don't know what that really means. This is a dense fleece for the grade, but I'm fine with this density. And it's like 7 pounds. And the sheep was like her second shearing. It was a year 7 months. Right. They even told me more information here. Let's see, where's it from? It's from Anchorage Farm. 7 pounds. It's in the long entry because it's a Romney. Yeah. Giant bag of Woolio. So I bought that. my gosh, I'm a hot mess. And then, oh my gosh, I was given so many beautiful things. By the way, look at this. I won't show you everything I was given because it's just all so gorgeous. But this one is, oh my gosh, that was Olive making a crazy noise and I thought it was something in the fleece bag. So scary. I've been watching that Zoo series, which I don't particularly care for, but whatever. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, the fleece has become animated. Ah! So this is Zamari Dye Lab in their Faraday base, which is 100% superwash merino. It's a DK. And it says well, it's the basic base and the Faraday colorway. I don't know what's happening. But isn't it pretty? Oh, it's so squishy. So that's going to be something very exciting. Maybe I need an orange hat. So then the next day I bought more Bartlett yarn. I will say that I did really well and didn't buy any any sock skeins or shawl skeins except for my one Legacy Firebirds purchase. I didn't buy any of them at Rhinebeck though, but I did buy a considerable amount of yarn. So then I bought some more Bartlett yarns for some felted slippers and some more Bartlett yarns for a sweater. Gosh, really? I'm out of control. Whatever. And so, oh, I should show you this one. I show you that. This will be like a crossover. I saw the beautiful proprietress of Hipstrings, who I met at SSK and who is super cute and awesome. And her family had matching sweaters and they were super cute. And it's her own yarn base, so you should go check that out. I think I might have to have some as soon as I knit up all these sweaters I just purchased. I might have also purchased Harrisville, but it's coming to me in the mail. Oh my gosh. I better get knitting, right? So she purchased one of these awesome unicorn bags last summer at SSK, and she loved the color so much she said she was going to do a colorway for it, or that, you know, went with it. So she came up with her colorway, a mermaid and her unicorn. Yeah, she did. She totally did. And so this is 4 ounces of 75% merino, 12.5% flax, and 12.5% tussa silk. It is so soft, it's out of control. It's super crazy. And so, like, right? It totally goes. So I might have also accidentally bought a Bosworth spindle. Shut up. So I spun a little bit on that. Yay. So fun. Ah. Bosworth. I will say that I'm not a huge spindle spinner, but I do have one Bosworth and I do like it more than any of my other ones. So I decided to get a heavier weight one in the hopes that I would spin a little bit more on it. But let's just face it, like, you might as well just buy some sculpture because it's that gorgeous. People buy art. You can buy art too. It just also happens to have a purpose. But it could just be fancy art, people. People spend fancy art money. So isn't that beautiful? And it spins wonderfully, wonderfully, wonderfully. Amazingness. Okay. Now, shameless self-promotion. Oh my goodness. It's the episode in which I talk far too much. Okay, but look. Okay, so I won't show you everything that's going to be in the update on Friday because literally there's so much it would just be insane. That's right. I did wonderfully, amazingly well at the Needles Up event, but I have extra bags still. So let's talk about them. I already showed you the mermaid bags. Oh, by the way, I did not mention, and I apologize, that, where did I Hipstrings, this is a repeatable thing that she has in her shop. So again, it is a mermaid and her unicorn, and her business name is Hipstrings. You can find her at hipstrings.com. That is available for your purchase. So there will be some unicorn bags. Oh, come on, right? Craziness. I already told you there would be some Gnomes and the Cactuses bags. Now, if you're like, I was at Needles Up and I didn't see all of these. Not all of them actually made it to Needles Up, right? Some of them stayed home, but some of them did come to Needles Up, and we're beautifully happy there. Okay, so now let's talk about some, oh wait, that's another sock bag I can show you. Super cute hip glasses. Come on. There are orange glasses in there, yo. That's worth any price of admission right there. How cute are these super awesome macaroon, apple, coffee, teacup things? Oh, so cute, yum yum. Right? Apples and macaroons and coffee. Okay. Thank you, sir. I'll have another. If you loved the bag last year that Mustache Sheep sold in a kit, I have a few of those available as well. The cute little fox on it. Those are small wedge. I have another, I can't find it. There's another sock something happening. There are a few of these in the small wedge size, these little sweet hedgies. Oh my gosh, so cute. Sheep. A few of those are happening. Beautiful apple trees and awesome treeness. Oh, totally happening. Just saying. And then I think the rest are larger bags, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. There's some Warhol sheep. Come on. Right. Some super sweet woodland creatures. This bag has navy and gold on it, which are my favorite colors together, I think. And it is so cute with the beehives, the skep, some nests. You got a fox. It's all cuteness. There are some of these awesome abstract, I say that they're knitting stitches. Isn't that a great color palette? I love that there's like this gold and this peach and this gray. Like I would never think to put those together, but I think it's gorgeous. So that's a large wedge. And then, goodness, so much goodness. Oh, right. I love this flower. This floral print with the fall colors, but also has that aqua in to just kind of give it a good pop. It's sort of old-fashioned looking, but yet modern at the same time. I really dig it. Ah, so beautiful. I tell you what, fabric designers are just amazing. And then this one. You know you need that color. What did I say about gold and navy? That's what I said about it. I love that fabric. I want to make all of my clothes with it. I love it that much. Wow. Then these super awesome Sleepy Mountains. There's a sweet little log cabin in there. Right. Oh my goodness. Vintage kitchenware. Again, the orange and the aqua is such a good combo. How fun is that? Right? Crazy cool. And then, oh my goodness. There's too much goodness. Okay, well, I will show you this. I won't show you that, but I'll show you this. Apples. Right, isn't that a great color palette? Apples. Oh my goodness. There's, oh my gosh, there's so many good bags. Right, this is an old favorite from a couple years ago. the beautiful knitting notions. Gorgeous. My husband is sending me texts. Probably like, I hope you're not dead. And he'll be like, oh my gosh, you must be dead. What? These sweet foxes and birds' nests and oh, so much gorgeousness. These are sweater sizes I'm showing you now. Oh my gosh. Ah! How fun is that? Right? This beautiful, almost Thanksgiving-y, which is things that gives thanks and home sweet home and welcome to our home and let us give thanks, all this thanks stuff, which is super awesome. And it kind of has like a chalkboard style, but it also has a metallic. You can kind of see it. See, there's like a metallic element to it too. And this is a quilter's cotton. I think almost everything else I've shown you has been a twill. This is a quilter's cotton, but it is interfaced with like the batting, so it has a really good body, and it's a sweater size as well. Oh, whales! How cute are these whales? Right? Oh, they're the best. I don't keep many bags anymore. I kept one of those. I couldn't resist. So cute. So cute. Oh, and then these. I have these in both the sweater and the large wedge size. And I think they're a great winter bag. Just this nice warm gray with silhouette, tree silhouettes. There's a deer, a snowflake, like a pine. Isn't that nice? With a gold in it. It's not a metallic gold, it's just a gold. But just a nice, sleepy winter bag. And then there's lots more. Oh my goodness, there's some, oh, I'll show you the apples. There's some gnomes. There's apples. And some of these are in big bags too, like the errands, but I just won't dig them out. Oh my gosh, look at all that. What? There's even more than I've shown you. I'm looking over there at even more. It's a crazy update. Just so you know, there will be lots and lots of bags. Friday, October 27th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Oh, and the Elizabeth Zimmerman pen, which I told you I would show you and then didn't show you because I'm evil. Just a little evil. It's totally... Alright, I'll show you a different one. I got one out to show you and it's disappeared. So Leanne Coppola of arrowacresfarm.blogspot.com designed an Elizabeth Zimmerman pin for me, y'all. What? So I really was like diligently looking. I was like, I really want an Elizabeth Zimmerman pin. And I was looking and looking and looking, and I couldn't find anything or even anything remotely similar. And then I had this moment where I was like, dude, I could just make that happen. So I contacted Leanne and we totally did make it happen. What? So it's 1.5 inches tall. It's slightly less than that wide. It's Elizabeth, and she totally has some garter stitch goodness on. And she's got a little knitting ball and yarn. And I know that like not everybody knows who Elizabeth Zimmerman is, but if you know who she is, then you know this is her. And if you don't know who this is, you'll be like, what was one comment? Oh, it's Mrs. Doubtfire with knitting needles. Just let them think that. Those of you who know will be in the club. We'll be in the club together. That's right. So my little card says, we continue to knit on with confidence. And let me just discuss, somebody at Needles Up totally got a little weepy about it, about the pin. And I did too when I was setting them up. I just was like all touched and verklempt about Elizabeth Zimmerman and how she revolutionized our craft on so many levels. But how she just is this awesome force that has brought so many of us together far after she's been gone. It's just an amazing thing. And again, like the women that I talked to were like, oh yeah, I have all of her books. I was like, I have all of her books too. And you know, you have this like just great sense of connection to her. And she has the PBS series, which now I can't remember what it was called. I actually have it on DVD because I'm that big of a nerd. And you can still purchase it through Schoolhouse Press. And I believe Amazon even. but you can still get her a PBS series, which I think was like put out in the 80s or something. So she was kind of even like our first podcaster, not really, but kind of a little bit. She's far more professional. But it has a very casual feel to it, which you can see. Again, it kind of has that public access feel, like public access channel that I think podcasting brings. It's very real. It's very unedited. It's just another person being a person, which we all need more of. In a world of like such polished things that we cannot hope to strive for, it's really helpful to have other real humans putting their real human energies into the world. And that's one of the greatest things I think there is about podcasts. There are beautifully, highly produced podcasts, which are gorgeous and aesthetically pleasing for people who want that. And that's amazing and wonderful. But I really like seeing just real people in a more natural environment, because as our social boundaries are getting smaller and smaller and smaller, like we don't have those extended communities as much as we used to. And so to be able to see other real people is so important, I think. And I'm so thankful for all the podcasters out there who give that part of their lives to us, so that we can feel a kinship to them. And again, look at other real people being real. You know, so many people on television, and again, I know that our podcast, like for me, I don't talk about a lot about like real personal struggles. I mean, I do on some level, but not maybe interpersonal struggles. Like I don't talk about certain things because I don't, you know, it's like there's a fine line between oversharing. You know, I don't know what that is yet. In person, I have no fine line. I'm a terrible oversharer. But so, you know, you want some form of escape. Like you want some form of escape, but not such restraint. Like there's all these television shows, which I can enjoy on certain levels, with people dealing with challenges, but so many of them are dealing with them in like these very rarefied circumstances that are not real for most people. I mean, I can't. Like somehow class has like disappeared on television, and everybody is of a class where they just choose to work or don't choose to work, or like can somehow magically exist in beautiful giant homes without doing anything to achieve them. And so they're dealing with these big problems, but you don't ever see them also like figuring what to eat for dinner on Tuesday. So sometimes it's just helpful to know there are other people out there who are like, yeah, no, there's Hamburger Helper happening. Like I strive to like feed my family good food that's good for them and it's not processed, but there is Hamburger Helper in my cabinet. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm real. So anyway, so I'm so appreciative that we have that access to other humans, you know, just doing our best. And again, it doesn't have to be like, it can still have a form of escapism in it, like, right? Like it could be your best person. That's kind of what I look at it as. Like I try to be my best person when I'm around other knitters and when I'm around the podcast, but it's not me. It's just my best me. And so anyway, I am very appreciative to all the podcasters out there who are doing great things, and all the amazing people who said hello and gave me squeezes, and just, I'm thankful for all of it. So anyway, I'll stop rambling. Okay, I think that's all. Oh my gosh. I think that's enough of me talking. I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.